So Mike, in this session, we're going to talk about transitioning a new leader into their role, right? You get three, you probably had many more, but you have three big ideas here, right? So let's jump in. Let's jump into the first one, and um, let's talk about what does this mean? Lose your ego. Let's talk about this for a minute because this is kind of important.
Well, to start off, it all depends a kind of a lot about how you're stepping into this new role. Are you a leader who now has found themselves in a new company and in a new leadership role? Are you a current leader in the organization that has now taken on yet another team, or are you transitioning into a different segment of the emergency team? Let's, for example, say you're transitioning from logistics to planning or operations to finance. Could be a number of different changes that you could be making. Or are you or were you a member of a team um, and have found yourself promoted, so to speak, into this new leadership role of the team you used to be a part of? You're now leading. Okay, you're not part of the bowling team. You're now the captain of the bowling team. Right? It's kind of how I've said it over the years, and there are changes. So if you are, regardless of those three different characteristics of finding yourself, or those three avenues or vehicles by which you found yourself into this position, it's really important for you to lose any ego or attitude you may have toward a team, toward an organization, toward an industry. It's kind of like, let me put everything aside. Let me approach this from a learning standpoint, and then once I know and understand it, both my role, my team, and how we interact with other parts of the organizations, either inside or internal or external. Once I learn all that, then chances are some of the things I thought were going to be important might not be important anymore. Some of the things I thought were going to be easy fixes or easy applications to create new processes or improve them will probably no longer be valid. And I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
So it's important to approach it with a a um, a blank, like a blank canvas almost, but not forgetting all of that experience and all of those experiences you have brought with you. For instance, if you're from outside the company and organization or industry, there may be something that worked very well for you that could be applied here once you understand that it can, right? And especially if it's in response to an issue, whether it be process or personnel or whatever the case may be, maybe the shifts that they're working. You've experienced that same thing at another organization. And now you find, wow, these people, this team, this organization has a very similar issue. Let me see if I can apply that. But you have to understand it first,
Right.
right? So you only want to create change where it's necessary and where you have found it to work before. Otherwise, it's important to work with the team to develop new improvements.
It's
You
a
know
great,
what I'm saying?
it's a great point, Mike. I think one of the things that I think for all of you, as I've heard your stories, um, they seem to follow this common principle of learn, do, teach in that order, right? I think a lot of people young today, they want to learn and they want to teach, right? They want to find significance in teaching without the doing something. Not all, but there's some out there. I see it. And to do is kind of afraid. It creates fear, right?
Yep.
Because when you do, you take action, there's going to be failures. And so ego is not a bad thing. I think what makes a good leader is a strong ego, right? Many times, but there's a balance to that. I like the way you position that. Um, and I think the other thing too, the thing I had to learn early on was um, who am I in submission to? We all have to start under the tutelage of something, somebody.